Good morning students, welcome to DBS Talks. Now in this class we are discussing the subject is power system architecture. Okay, so in power system architecture here we have to start a new unit, that is our 15th unit. Last unit is general aspects of distribution systems and substation. Okay, so this unit having two parts. Okay, first part is general aspects of distribution systems and second part is a substations. Okay, so first you have to discussing about the general aspects of distribution systems. Okay, see here distribution system. Okay, so what is the distribution system is nothing but, see here, the part of power system which distributes electrical power for local use. Okay, so the part of the power system. Okay, so in power system, power means, okay, so there will be a lot of parts. What is the generation part, distribution part, okay, transmission, first generation part. After you have to generating the electrical energy, next you have to transmit it. After that, whenever you have to transmit to the substation, from the substation you have to distribute the electrical energy to the consumers. Okay, so distribution system is nothing but the part of power system. Okay, so the part of power system which distributes electrical power. Okay, which distributes electrical power for local use is known as the distribution system. Okay, see here, in general the distribution system is the electrical system between substation fed by the distribution system and the consumer meters. Okay, so the distribution system, okay, so in general the distribution system is the electrical system between the substation, okay, substation and by the distribution system and the consumer meters. It generally consisting of feeders, okay, distributors and the service mains. Okay, distribution, where you have to distribute, whenever you have to generating the electrical energy in the generating station, from the generating stations you have to transmit the electrical energy to the substations. From that substations you have to distribute to the consumers. Okay, so that is nothing but the distribution. So that's why here the electrical system between the substation fed by the distribution system and the consumer meters. Okay, so and generally the distribution system consisting of feeders, okay, distributors and the service mains. So here I am says that, so generally the distribution system consisting of the feeders, distributors and the service mains. See first, what is the distributors? See here, what is the feeders? A feeder is a conductor which connects the substation or local generating station to the area where power is to be distributed. Okay, a feeder, okay, a feeder is a one conductor which connects the substation to the area which power is to be distributed. Substation to where, for which area? If suppose we have to take one town, okay, in that town we have one substation. From that to either, for example, any street, okay, so for that street you have to transmit that power. Okay, so here you have to connecting a one feeder to that area. That means substation to in one town, from the substation to the different areas, here you have to different feeders. Okay, so from the substation to particular area, the power is to be distributed through a conductor. That conductor is nothing but the feeder. Okay. See here, generally no tappings. Okay, here generally no tappings are taken from the feeder, so that current in it remains the same throughout. Okay, so there will be no tappings. Okay, so there will be no tappings are arranged at the feeders. Okay, so that's why the current the current value will be remains same throughout the distribution. Okay, see here, the main consideration in the design of a feeder is the current carrying capacity. Okay, so what is the main consideration? Okay, so the main consideration in the design of a feeder is nothing but the current carrying capacity. Okay, depending upon the current carrying capacity, here you have to design the feeders. See here, this is a substation. Okay, here S means substation. From this, here you have to different feeders A, B, C, D. Okay, from that feeders you have to service mains. Okay, that means service mains means for the consuming purpose. Next one, distributor. Okay, distributor is nothing but see here. A distributor is a conductor from which tappings are taken for supply to the consumers. Okay, distributor is nothing but a conductor. Okay, one conductor from which tappings are taken. Okay, so the tappings will be arranged to supply the electrical energy to the consumers. Okay, in the figure A, B, B, C, C, D, D, A are the distributors. Okay, see here A, B, B, C, C, D and D are the distributor. The current through a distributor is not constant because tappings are taken at various places along its length. See here, you have to take in the tappings. Okay, you have to take in the tappings along the a distributor. Okay, so that's why the current through a distributor is not constant. Okay, is not uniform. Okay, while designing a distributor, voltage drop along its length is the main consideration. Okay, whenever we have to designing a distributor, okay, whenever we have to designing a distributor, voltage drop, okay, voltage drop along the length of that distributor is the main consideration, since the statutory limit of voltage variations is plus or minus 6% of the rated value at the consumer's terminals. Okay, so if suppose there will be voltage fluctuations will be occurs, so up to where the voltage fluctuations is the limit plus or minus 6% only. Okay, next one is what? Service mains. Okay, see here, service mains. Okay, these are the service mains. See here, service mains. A service mains is generally small cable which connects the distributor to the consumer's terminals. Okay, see here, a service mains is a small terminals which connects the distributor. Here this is a distributor. This line will be indicate distributor. Distributor to the consumer's terminals is nothing but service mains. See here, classification of distribution systems. Okay, so next we have to see the classification. Okay, so classification of distribution system. See here, a distribution system may be classified according to first one, nature of current. Okay, so a distribution system may be classified according to first one, nature of current. See here, according to the nature of current, distribution system may be classified as DC distribution system, AC distribution system. Okay, so here nature of the depending upon the according to the nature of the current, here the distribution system may be classified as the AC distribution system and DC distribution system. See here, nowadays AC system is universally adopted for the distribution of electrical power as it is simpler and more economical than direct current method. Okay, nowadays, okay, in these days, AC system, okay, AC system, alternating current system is universally adapted for distribution of electrical power. Okay, and it is a simple and it is more economical than DC method. Okay, that means direct current method. Okay, see here. So first one you have to see according to the nature of current, AC distribution, DC distribution. Okay, next we have to see the type of construction. Okay, depending upon the type of construction, see here, according to the type of construction, distribution system may be classified as a overhead system, underground system. Okay, so according to type of construction, distribution system may be classified as overhead system and underground system. Okay, see here, the overhead system is generally employed for distribution. Okay, overhead system is generally it is used for only distribution as it is 5 to 10 times cheaper than the equivalent underground system. Okay, so whenever we have to see the overhead system and underground system, the overhead system is generally employed for the distribution purpose only. So and it is 5 to 10%. Okay, so 5 to 10 times cheaper than the equivalent underground system. If suppose if you have to see for 11 kV, you have to distribute the 11 kV voltage. For that 11 kV voltage, whenever you have to compare the overhead system and underground system, so at that time the overhead system is 5 to 10 times cheaper than the underground system. Okay, see here, in general the underground system is used at places where overhead construction is impracticable or prohibited by the local laws. Okay, so whenever there will be no facility to arrange the overhead system. Okay, so in general whenever we have to, there is a no way to arrange the overhead system, at that places only we have to prefer for underground connection. Okay, so these are the two distribution systems according to the type of construction. What are those? Overhead system and underground system. Okay. Next, you have to see according to this scheme of connection. Okay. So next you have to see the classification of distribution system according to the scheme of connection. See here, according to the scheme of connection, the distribution system may be classified as radial system, ring main system, interconnected system. Okay, according to the scheme of connection. Okay, scheme of connection, the distribution may be classified as a radial system, ring main system, interconnected system. Okay, each scheme has its own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so these are very, very important. What are those? Radial systems, ring main systems, interconnected systems. Okay, so this is the classification of distribution system. See here the classification of distribution system. So the distribution system, according to the nature of the current, the distribution system is classified as the AC distribution, DC distribution. According to the type of construction, the distribution system is classified as overhead system, underground system. Okay, so according to the scheme of connection, it is classified as the radial system, ring main system, interconnected system. So here we have to see the AC distribution. Okay, so AC distribution. So AC distribution is more economical and advantageous over than the DC distribution system. See here, nowadays electrical energy is generated, transmitted and distributed in the form of alternating current. AC distribution is nothing but alternating current distribution. Okay, so in nowadays the electrical current is either it is generated or transmitted or distributed. Anything is in the alternating current. See here, alternating current is preferred to direct current is the fact that alternating voltage can be conveniently changed by means of a transformer. Okay, so direct current is nothing but direct current is a constant. Okay, so constant magnitude. But here the alternating current. Okay, so the alternating current is conveniently, according to our convenience, conveniently changed by means of by using the transformer. Okay. See here, high distribution and distribution voltages have greatly reduced the current in the conductors and resulting the line losses. Okay, so whenever you have to distribute the high voltages, so at that time you have to greatly reduce the current in the conductors. So at that time they have to result in the line losses. Okay. And here the AC distribution system is the electrical system between the step down substation fed by the distribution system and the consumer meters. Okay, see here the AC distribution system. Okay, so the AC distribution system is the electrical system between the step down substation fed by the distribution system and the consumer meters. Okay, see here the AC distribution system is classified into mainly two types. What are those? Primary distribution system and secondary distribution system. Okay, so either the AC distribution system is classified into two types. What are those? Primary distribution system and secondary distribution system. Okay, so this is the primary distribution system. Okay, see here, this is a substation. If suppose you have to, this is a substation. Okay, for this substation, from the generating station you have to supply 33 kV in this substation through a three-phase system. See here, that's why here you have to indicate the three-phase 3-wire. Okay, you have to transmit it to the substations. From the generating station is 33 kV voltage. In this substation you have to step down, okay, this 33 kV to 11 kV, okay, by using the step down transformers. Okay, so that means here you can get the 11 kV. Okay, and it is used for the distribution purpose. See here, by using the three-phase lines you have to distribute. See here, you have to use, this is distributed big consumers. That means for the factory purpose. Factories, for industries, you have to need a lot amount of electrical energy. Okay, so that's why this is called a big consumers. Next, small substations. Okay, so this is a big substations. From this also we have to take to this another substations. See here, here also another substation. Okay, so this distribution, up to this distribution is called as the primary distribution system. See here, primary distribution system is a part of a AC distribution system. Okay, so see here, what is primary distribution system is nothing but, see here, it is that part of a AC distribution system which operates as voltages somewhat higher than the general utilization then the average low voltage consumer is are the mostly primary distribution voltages are 11 kV, 6.6 kV and 3.3 kV for the primary distribution is carried out by three-phase, three-wire system. Okay, see here it is a part of AC distribution system. Okay, so it is a main part of it which operates at a voltage somewhat higher than. Okay, so the primary distribution system will be operates at the voltage higher than the general utilization. Okay, so general, so what is the utilization of average low voltage consumers? So average, okay, utilization then the average. Okay, low voltage consumers use mostly the primary distribution. Okay, so primary distribution means in this you have to transmit the voltages up to 11 kV, 6.6 kV and 3.3 kV. Okay, and here the see primary distribution is always carried out by three-phase, three-wire system. Okay, so here in the figure, okay, so in the figure we have to show already show the primary distribution system. Electrical power from the generating station is transmitted at high voltage to the substation located near in the city. Okay, see already I have tell that. Okay, from the generating station to the substation we have to transfer the electrical energy. At this substation the voltage is stepped down to 11 kV. With the help of step down transformer, power is supplied to various substations for the distribution or big consumers at this voltage. At the same voltage, okay, so see here, same this 11 kV voltage is transmitted to the big consumers or another substations. Okay, same at the same voltage. This form the high voltage distribution or primary distribution. Okay, so that's why this voltage distribution is called the primary distribution or high voltage distribution. So next we have to see the secondary distribution system. Okay, secondary distribution system. See here, this is a three-phase okay, from the three-phase line. Okay, so see directly you have to given to the houses. Okay, directly to the household purpose or another way you have to use the factory for three-phase load. Okay, so that means household purpose means you have to use either 400 volts or 230 volts. Okay, maximum for household purpose you are using the 230 volts. See here, see it is a part of AC distribution system. Okay, so the secondary distribution system is also a part of a AC distribution system and it employs a 400 by 230 volts. So see here, from this you have to given, see here, this is up to primary distribution. Here you have to get at the primary distribution is high voltage, that is 11 kV voltage. Next that 11 kV voltage is stepped down to 400 volts or 230 volts, then that is directly given to the household purpose. That is nothing but the secondary distribution system. Okay, see here the 11 kV. Okay, here the 11 kV voltage. Okay, so by using the three-phase the delta star distribution transformer, it can be converted into 400 volts. Okay, so that 400 volts is given to the three-phase lines. Okay, so that 400 volts is directly given to the some factories three-phase load, or and again this 400 volt is stepped down to 230 volts and that is used for the household purpose. Okay, directly. So this distribution is called as secondary distribution system. Okay, so that's why here you have to see it is that part of AC distribution system employs a 400 by 230 volts three-phase four-wire system. Okay, so that means the 400 volts is converted into again step down to 230 by using the three-phase four-wire system. Why I am says that three-phase four-wire system means here you have to three phases R, Y, B and four wires why extra you have to connect a one ground. Okay, so that's why it is called a three-phase four-wire system. Shows a typical secondary distribution system. Okay, it shows a typical secondary distribution system. See here the primary distribution circuits delivers power to various substations. Okay, from the primary distribution circuit, it delivers the power to various substations called distribution substations. Okay, the substations are situated near the consumers' localities and contain step-down transformers. Okay, so first in primary distribution, you have to deliver the power to the various substations. Those are called distribution substations. From that substations are situated near the, so the whatever this for the substations you have to distribute the electrical energy. Those substations are located near the consumers' localities and contain step-down transformers. Okay, and each distribution substation, the voltage is stepped down to 400 volts. and power is delivered by three-phase 4-wire system. The voltage between any phases is 400 volts, and between any phase, okay, any two phases is 400 volts, and between any phase, okay, the voltage is any phase and neutral. Okay, in between, if suppose you have to take the R phase, see here in the diagram, if you have to see R phase and neutral 230 volts, by R phase and neutral 230 volts, Y phase and neutral 230 volts, B phase and neutral 230 volts, or in between any two phases. If suppose this is a phase R, so here R will be missing. See, R by phase 400 volts. If suppose Y and B 400 volts. If suppose R and B 400 volts. Okay, so that means here the voltage between any two phases is 400 volts, or the voltage between any one phase and neutral is a 230 volts. Okay, the single phase domestic loads are connected between any one phase and the neutral. Okay, see domestic loads. Okay, that means house loads is connected between the, see here, one phase to the one neutral. Okay, here also one phase, so the domestic loads are connected to the, here also one phase, so this is a one phase and this is a neutral. Okay, see here one phase. Okay, here also this is a domestic load, here also one phase and one neutral. See, motor loads are connected across three-phase line directly. Okay, see here, motor loads, okay, directly connected to the across the three-phase lines too, and as well as the neutral. This is about the AC distribution. Okay, so the AC distribution is mainly classified as the primary distribution and secondary distribution system. Next, we have to discuss about the DC distribution. Okay, so in certain cases, in all applications, if it is not possible to use the AC distribution, at that time here you have to go for the DC distribution system. Okay, so see here DC distribution for certain applications. Okay, for certain applications, DC supply is absolutely necessary. DC supply is required for the operation of variable speed machinery, that is DC motor storage battery. Okay, so in certain cases to operate the DC motors, okay, or DC generators, so at that time you have to require the DC supply. Okay, so at that time you have to use the DC distribution. Okay, see here, for this purpose AC power is converted into DC power at the substation by using the converter machinery, example mercury arc rectifiers or rotatory converters and motor generator sets. Okay, so that's why, so for the transmission you have to get the AC. Okay, so at the substation, whenever you have to get the AC, whenever you want that DC, so at that time at the substation, that AC will be converted into the DC by either AC will be converted into the DC by using the machinery, that is either mercury arc rectifiers, okay, or the rotatory converters or motor generator sets. Okay, anything. See here, the DC supply obtained in the form of 2-wire or 3-wire distribution. Okay, so here also the DC supply obtained. Okay, the DC supply is obtained in the form of a 2-wire distribution or 3-wire distribution. See here. Two-wire distribution or 3-wire distribution. See here, this is a 2-wire DC system. So here printing will be mistake. Here you have to 2. Okay, so 2-wire distribution. See here, as the name implies, this distribution system consisting of 2 wires. Okay, see here, this distribution system consisting of 2 wires. Okay, one is the outgoing or positive wire and another one is return or negative wire. So it is a outgoing wire. Okay, or positive wire. Another one is return wire. Okay, or negative wire. The loads such as lamps, motors, etc. are connected in parallel between the 2 wires. So here the lights, that means loads, either lights or motors, directly connected in between these 2 lines. Okay, this system is never used for the distribution purposes due to low efficiency, but may be employed for the distribution of DC power. Okay, so this type of system, okay, this type of system is never used for the distribution purposes due to because it having the low efficiency, but may be employed for the distribution of a DC power. Okay, only DC power. Next we have to see here also printing mistake. Here also we have to 3-wire. Okay, so 3-wire DC system. See here it consisting of 2 outers and middle or a neutral wire which is erected at the substation. See here it is also two wires. Okay, so here it consisting of a 2 outers. These two are 2 outers and middle here you have to connect a one neutral wire. Okay, so that's why this is called a 3-wire system. Okay, so erected at the and it is erected at the substation. Okay, erected at the substation. Okay, see here the voltage between the outers is the twice the voltage between either outer and neutral. Okay, see here the voltage between these two outers, that means plus and minus, is double. See here double than the voltage between neutral and the outer. If suppose if we have to take the one outer and one neutral, okay, so the voltage between these one outer and neutral, here we have to assume V. Similarly another neutral and wire we have to assume the V. So whenever, so and here V plus V, so at that time it will becomes 2V. So that means here the voltage between the two outers is twice than that of the voltage between one outer and the neutral. Okay. The principal advantage of this system is that it makes the available two voltages at the consumer's terminals. Okay, so the principal advantage of this system is it makes the available two voltages at the consumer terminals, V between any outer and the neutral and 2V between the outers. Okay, that means here you have to get the two voltages, that is the V and 2V. V you can get the one outer and consumer, and 2V you can get between the two outers. Okay, so that is the principal advantage of the 3-wire DC system. Loads requiring higher voltages, example motors, are connected across the outers. So the loads, okay, so the loads which, so the loads means motors. So okay, so for example if you have to take the motors, okay, generally the motors, okay, so generally the motors will require the higher voltages. Okay, so that's why here we have to connecting the motors across the two outers. Okay, and lamps and heating circuits. Okay, lamps. Okay, so lamps generally require the low voltages. Heating circuits also requires less voltages, are connected between the either one outer and neutral. Okay, so at that time here you have to connect the heating circuits and the lamps in between the one outer and one neutral. See here, see that's why here one outer and one neutral, here you have to connect a lamp, and between the two outers here you have to connecting a motor. Okay, so that means here motor requires a higher loads. Okay, so that's why here in between two outers here you have to connect the motor, and in between the one outer and one neutral here you have to connect a light lamp. Okay, see next here you have to see the comparisons. Okay, so next class we have to discussing the comparisons of AC and DC distributions. Okay, so now in this class we have to discuss what is the importance of distribution. Okay, and you have to see the classification of distribution. Okay, according to the nature of the current, the distribution is classified as the AC distribution, DC distribution. Okay, according to the see here. Okay, and type of construction, that a distribution may be classified as the overhead underground system. Okay, according to the scheme of connection, it may be classified as the radial system, ring main system, or interconnected system. And in this class, we have also discussed what is DC distribution and what is the AC distribution. Okay, so nowadays here we have to mainly using the AC distribution systems. Okay, so in next class, so and in AC distribution, we have two distributions. Again, primary distribution system, secondary distribution system, and you have to see the difference between the primary and secondary distribution system. And DC distribution, okay, DC means directly by using the wire. Okay, 2-wire systems, 3-wire systems. Okay, so next class you have to see about the comparison between the AC and DC distribution systems. Okay. Okay, thank you. All of you, please subscribe this video. Okay, thank you.